Yeah, I think general, I can share the emotional level in the full situation. I think this is normal. I think general, when we speak about the full picture, in the last 3 weeks, for us as a group, for us as a club, very emotional, a roller coaster. Let's look back 3 weeks ago. Was a nice evening with the famous manager Souness. Great atmosphere around the stadium. Really welcomed there, and we go with a lot of positivity in a split where we said we have really a chance to win something. And then I think the last 4 games. A lot of emotional up and downs, 2-0 down against Motherwell, you come back 2-2, late 3-2, you lost the game, you lead in Hearts 1-0, play a good half, you were close again to be back in the race, you dropped again, we lead away in Celtic, some decisions then a little bit against us, you lose again 3-1. And finally, we come to an emotional week, not just for us as a group, also for, in this case, TEF. And I think in all this time, there's a huge difference between emotional decisions and decisions with emotions. And I think this is my job as a manager, to make decisions, of course, with a lot of emotions, but also to look what is the picture, what is best for the team, what is the best for the club. And then, of course, I respect Tev in all of them. And I think in the last couple of weeks, even we knew he will left the club and he made his decision in this moment. I think I always respect him. We had a great communication. I was honest to him. I was honest to him in this case as well. And this is what I can say to this topic.
He seemed to suggest in his statement that you had agreed that it would be right and proper to give him the proper send-off, considering how long he had been here. He obviously feels that he wasn't going to get that. Could this have been better handled, do you think?
Yeah, I think general, when you come to a point where we are now, then of course we can reflect and can say, okay, maybe on this point and this point we could speak more in detail, but I think I was from the first part on very clear and open to him, and I think that was the reason why it was also my wish and suggest that he gets a proper goodbye on Wednesday. But also in this time I always said to him, it could be you start, it could be I come from the bench. This is not the point. I think if you ask me what was in my head for this day, it was at first take 3 points, win a game, see Tev with his family walking in, take the trophy what he deserved, make a round, a walk around the stadium, and then finally get some minutes on the pitch. If it's a starter or sub, this was for me. In case of how I spoke with him clear, I give him a suggestion. He asked me, I'm a starter, and I said, if nothing changes overnight, you will not start, but you will get your minutes on the pitch. And I think my team knows it. My final decision, and this is the reason why there's a if, it's always on match day, 3 hours before the game, never overnight. Because as a manager, you make decisions with emotions, and sometimes you have to sleep over your decisions to make final decisions. And it was the normal process.
Can I ask one more? Have you spoken to him since the statement yesterday, and where does it leave him for tomorrow's match?
Yeah, unfortunately, he has today his injection. What we expect. And of course, if we see each other, I think and this is my job. I always respect him as a person, and of course I have no problem with him. Yeah, I think there was a decision what I have to make as a manager, and if we see each other, we will speak. Yeah, and then we move forward.
Danny, can you tell us why you thought you shouldn't have started?
Yeah, again, I took the picture, I collect the informations. I think we, and this is also part, we are still a club to play for results and for wins, and I make the decision what is the best for the team in this moment, and that was my final decision for him in this moment. But it was always in my mind to give him this goodbye, and I think the club prepared something, and I was honest to him.
He's received quite a fair bit of support on social media from past players and present players. Are you in any way concerned that you'll have an issue in your own dressing room as a result of the way this has been handled?
I think general in this part, it's about, I take it more in this way. I showed how strong the relationship is between the players. I think this is always great. I not take it personal if there is a like or not a like. I think, and there's also not, and this is what I take. And this, if there's a like or a repost or something like this, then it's more about. It's not this or this side for me. I take it that. Yeah, and if you see the picture from the statement, then you can also see, okay, maybe this is about the emotional side, and that's the reason why they like this emotional goodbye.
You also said that he messaged you on Tuesday. Was your relationship with him always okay throughout the season and up until now?
100%. From my side, I think he was last week in my office. He was before the Celtic game in my office. We spoke. I shared sometimes some thoughts about the game, and I said this in public here, that I respect him, what he did. I think I used the word legend of a club for a long, long, long time. From my point, was never a problem with him, because I always try to have a best relationship to my captain, because he is the guy who leads the group.
Is there a sense of regret that this has played out so publicly?
Yeah, I think general there was a lot of questions, because why he was not in the squad or something like this, and then I tried to be very calm, explain just what happens, that everyone gets a view from this point. It was not emotional, it was also respect, and this is what I did.
When we look at the result the other night and going into the final game this weekend, you said you had full backing from the board. Even if you were to go on to not get a result this weekend, do you feel that that backing would still be there? There would be no change from the board, even if it went to 5 games without a win post-split?
Yeah, this is my feeling at the moment.
What gives you that belief? What have you spoken about with the board maybe since the game the other night?
About everything, communications, about the games, the summer, new players, decision makings. We spoke about everything like we did always in the last couple of weeks.
And just on the decisions that maybe have to be made this summer, if you're looking at 6 players been here on loan, they'll have to return to their parent clubs, James leaving, a few other players whose futures will be uncertain. How many players do you think you'll need to come in and will have to leave this summer?
I can repeat my answer from the January when you asked me the same about how many players. I said, if you count now, this is 6, 7, some question marks. Yeah, will be again, of course, some changes, but we have to. We are not happy with the final result, with position 3rd, and it means as well we have to change something to bring the club forward all together as a unit, and this is what I feel at the moment. We are one unit, one direction, and we go forward.
We spoke in January about signings. You said that you had to make sure you were signing people who understood what it meant to play for this club. Do you think you have to put more emphasis than perhaps you even did back in January now with the summer people?
Yeah, I think general We saw in the last 3-4 months as well, and now also with the new situations, that we will lose some players, some leaders in this case, that we need as well more of them, that we create a good culture, good standards on and off the pitch.
Do you believe that those standards haven't been there, not just this season, but in previous seasons? And how do you find the right players with the right character to bring those standards back into this club?
Yeah, I think it helps when players played in similar environments. I think this is always helpful. It's helpful when players maybe were captains from former teams. It helps as well because they understand. And yeah, I think this is what we were looking for. I think this is a full picture. There's a good sentence what I read the last couple of days. I think this is also important. We want to create leaders, not just followers, and I think this is a part what we have to, and this is what I try to be the best leader. And I come back, in football you have a lot of emotional decisions, but you need decisions with good emotions, and this is what I try every day.
In terms of replacing James as captain, do you have someone within this squad in mind that could take that on next season, or would you look to sign someone that has the characteristics that you're looking for in a captain?
Let's ask me this question in the pre-season. Not yet. I think it's important tomorrow after the game to have a little bit distance for reflection. I think I start always by myself. What was wrong the last couple of weeks, why we dropped, why we couldn't win. And then I come with a lot of energy, a lot of goals and ambitions back, and prepare a team who has a chance to win next year the title.
Danny, in general, how difficult is it for a young coach to go into a dressing room, big egos, big personalities, and change a culture that's been a losing culture into a winning culture?
Yeah, this is part of the job. When I changed from assistant coach to a manager, it was, I think, exactly the process you need. I come back to my former stations. I think it helps massive to see on the daily business big players like Müller, Neuer, Kimmich on the pitch every day, what it means, which standards they set in the training. When I remember, every trainings game was like a match day. Everyone wants to win. And I took a lot from this time. I learned a lot from Hansi Flick. I think he's doing again an outstanding job in Barcelona, win titles, manage the group, and all this experience help to be ready and to manage a group of players with interests, but always the main goal is about the interest of the club and the team, and this should be also the goal in the future.
See the group of players here, do you think losing games and losing goals hurts them enough, or do you need to hurt them more to change them?
It hurts them because I feel them in the dressing room. I think the most important thing is that we fight through also to the difficult moments during the game. I think, and this is what we have to take from this game. If you consider the goal, then we need sometimes a game management where you come through the next 10 minutes to be able to come back in the game. And I think the last 3 weeks was really a roller coaster from emotion, up and downs, conceded goals, we scored, leads, defeats. Finally, 4 defeats. It's a scenario what nobody could imagine 3 weeks ago.
And how important is it to get positive results tomorrow so that the season doesn't end on another negative?
Yeah, the most important thing in football is winning games, and this is what we have to do tomorrow. I think I looked the game back and I saw that in the background after our goals, our supporters' celebration, and I said, it was a good day. We were back, we showed character, we showed mentality, we come back from a 2-0 down. We showed that we are ready for the split. But football is football. You can plan, you can think about all those things, but then there come some own stories.
Could you give us an update as far
Yeah, of course, like I said, Tav not available. I think Nico is not available, still problems with the hamstring. Dušan is always about the 4G pitch. This is a part. Ryan will be not available. Bailey is back in the training, but of course not available for the game. Hopefully I didn't forget someone. Yeah, I think that's it.
Danny, you said after the Old Firm unit, the club planned to have some discussions with representatives from the Scottish FA. I'm just wondering, do you know how those discussions went, and given some of the other decisions we've seen across the league in recent weeks, how strong your faith in VAR is just now?
Yeah, I think as a general, a big topic at the moment. Yeah, I will not compare them with us, but we speak about consistency from our performance. We need this over 45, not 45, 90 minutes, game by game. I think the most important thing for the new season is that we have consistency also with decision making on the pitch. I think this is the most important thing, because you see some similar situations. I think, yeah, like I said, after the Celtic game, our decision with the offside or not offside, you see a similar situation. There is offside, whereas there was no offside. You see some fouls, you see some decisions during the box. I think it's about consistency, and this is what we have to work for and what we have to improve also for the league.
Final question, Adam.
You've spoken about backing you back from the boards, but when you see the banner that was outside Ibrox during the week, and of course the way that it's played out publicly with James Tavernier, do you feel like there's maybe a bit more external pressure from the support in your own position?
Well, I think general, you lose 4 games, it's normal. It's normal that you get a little bit more critical feedback. I think this is the part, and this is the reason when you especially also join this club, then you have to be prepared for this as well. That there will be a time where you will be the hero 3 weeks ago, yeah, and we were on a good way, and you have a time where you have to come through. But this is also what I demand from my players, and this is what I demand from myself. I think it's never to run away. It's always about develop resilience, go through, show leadership. I think I said it, and I made this after the game as well, to see and speak to our supporters. They always support us, and this I will do in the future as well.
Last final one for the season.
Can I just come back to the Old Firm match? Just in terms of the explanation you got from the SFA, did they say the decisions on the pitch, i.e. equaliser and not sending off Arse Johnson, were the correct decisions?
Yeah, I think with the foul, I didn't see it in this way, and with the offside, yeah, I think the most important thing when you see how Czech could handle the situation, it was not possible because he has an opponent player in front of him, and then we shoot back, and yeah, finally they make the decision in this game. I think they will also analyze the season, and then they will take, hopefully, the right consequences.
Well done.